Welcome to the first series of BAB Walk. We are at the Bangkok Art and Culture Center, and I'm here with Chomwan, who's going to be walking with me to the various places of Bangkok Art Biennale. So, dear, welcome. So, what do you think? We're here now?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited because there's so much to see.
Let's go. We're here on the 9th floor of the Bangkok Art and Culture Center, and this floor consists of works by the famous Chinese artist Ai Weiwei. And the work you see here is the work called Law of the Journey, which Ai Weiwei made in the year 2016. What do you think of it, Ju?
I mean, my first impression being up here is really the scale, the kind of enormity of the work, and also being surrounded by a lot of these images, which I would love for you to tell me about. Because I can see here this is a boat, and I imagine they're refugees, but all around there's like stories that are being told.
So the theme of the Bangkok Art Biennale is escape routes. So we asked the artists, including Ai Weiwei, to interpret his definition, his views on escape routes. So he came up with this idea, and it's an amazing get-together of various media comprising of the dinghy boat, rubber boat, wallpapers, and inkjet. So Ai Weiwei talks about his interpretation of diaspora and refugees. He himself is a refugee, and his experience, especially in this series of works where he stayed and lived with in the camps of the refugees in the island of Lesbos near Macedonia and Greece. So this is a series of the combination of experience, and it relates very much to, it's like an international language. It does not necessarily have to be his own experience or the viewers in Greece or Macedonia, but it's like international language in terms of shift of placement, suffering, loss of loved ones, and it applies here in Asia as well as in Thailand.
I would love for you to tell me more about what's happening with the wallpaper.
Okay. So like you said, the size of it and the site specificity of the room itself, where it's designed so that the impact of the wallpaper almost elopes, and our size in relation to the dinghy boat. The way it's produced and how the stories are told. So Ai Weiwei actually uses the ancient way of storytelling. He refers back to the hieroglyphs and the pictograms in the times of Assyria, Syria, Mesopotamia. All these storytellings that we see on walls, vases. It's like a record of events, which comprise of, still in those days, people moving, people being under aggression, but the way he overlaid the meanings and the contents of the contemporary events, whereby you see tanks and helicopters and machine guns. So these are like they crossover. So in this way, he actually says that for thousands of years, people still suffer in terms of migration and diaspora in the ancient days or even today.
I do think some of this is very beautiful, though. How there are still glimmers of hope.
Yeah.
And how there's still music.
Yeah. So there must be hope. Otherwise there's nothingness. And these people live with hope. However little it is, but they still must have this desire and the quest to be free. And you see like music and even sentences like open the border, safe passage.
It's very beautiful. And this is wallpaper, right?
Yeah.
How,
And
how was this made?
yeah, it's a special kind of wallpaper that he likes to use, which we don't have in Thailand, so we have to find the appropriate wallpaper for this, and I think it turned out very well. And the way he uses black and white, you know, black and white is like a newspaper,
Yeah.
information, news. All this is like graphics, but then he uses the mechanical reproduction. So the videos here are complementary to the wallpaper and the works, and it's during his stay in the refugee camps in Idomeni and places like I mentioned near Lesbos. So it also related to wallpapers, you know, that are records of all the people who he experienced and lived with. So all these images, like you said, they interact, and we are in the middle of the conversation and the dialogue. And the wallpaper that we discussed earlier is called Odyssey, which goes back to the Greek mythology of Odysseus, of Homer's writing, and it tells the myth and the times of war, suffering, and living. And these series are related to his very famous film Human Flow. So these are the pieces that culminate to the actual presentation of the world suffering. But what do you think in terms of if the kids come to see Ai Weiwei's work, how would they, because you have kids, and how did they respond to it?
Well, I think that for a child, this would be very sensational. The question would be, you know, why are they on a boat? Where are they going?
Yeah.
Why are they faceless? So then that opens up the question of how much do we want to share and how much do we want to kind of maybe teach them of the different crises that happens in the world right now. And, you know, I think for me, we try to communicate in the best way possible for them to see.
And I think the way he presents the works, it's almost like the message is critical, but the actual presentation is alluring.
Right.
Because, you know, for the kids, the first thing they want to do is they want to jump on the boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Wow.
So what do you think?
I'm not sure. I think it's super cool that outside, I mean, that would be outsider art, right? That kind of
Yeah,
I mean,
outside is
what's
that.
the-
Yeah.
has made it in here. But how did you manage, like how did you manage to collect
Yeah.
and put this all together? And are these panels that he created for you?
Okay, so these are the questions that people have been asking quite a lot. Whether he agrees, you know, in showing the works. The answer is yes. How did we get to know him? The process took about 3 months just to find him because he moves everywhere. He wanders everywhere. He was quite secluded, you know, quite intimate. He doesn't like to talk too much when he's working. So I kind of got to know him after a while, and then we start talking. And I interviewed him, and he was ex-Marine.
Oh.
He worked in the Navy,
Okay.
and we talked about his family and the way he lived, and you know, slowly try to ask him to explain, to decode his own you know, creativity. And it's like he works from sketches.
Right.
And he gets inspired by certain elements that he sees around him. And then he expands in such a way that they become like his ongoing journey, the quest for freedom. And he uses this as a kind of release.
Right.
But he throws them away. Every day he works, he throws these cardboards away. So I said, can I have them? This disposed cardboard boxes. He said no problem, and we discussed. I wanted to show it here, and he said no problem, go ahead, do it. But then I asked him to come here
That was going to be my
to
question.
see the works and even to draw. But he doesn't like to be in such places.
So he hasn't seen his work installed.
He has not, but you know the collection of the works I showed him, you know,
Right.
on the telephone, and he says no problem.
That's so interesting.
So this is a kind of questioning that we want people when they come to Bangkok Art Biennale to question and debate.
So this is his escape.
Yeah, and he has this idea of the conspiration theories that things are going on, the people in power, the military are planning something, and he wants to tell the world
Right.
that be aware. You know, like it's like looking at the future. He's warning.
Yeah.
You know, he's giving warnings that we must be careful and we must be aware of what is going on around us, even the forces outside.
Right.
And he's talk about the stars and the astrology that control our lives.
Yeah, who's the sane one then?
Yeah,
And then I really love this room.
yeah. Okay, this is a work by a Thai artist based in Chiang Mai called Ubat Sat. So his work is related to astrology again. You know? It's like the black star that is revolving, and he feels that the planet, especially Thailand, has been affected by this Death Star for the past 20 years.
To me, when I look at it, it sort of feels like something out of a science fiction
Yeah.
film, like Star Wars
Yeah,
even.
yeah.
But yet when I look at this, I see an enormous weapon.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
can sort of go off at any moment, and then there's this poor guy. But I don't know, I wonder when you see this, do you get a sense of doom or a sense of
Yeah,
hope?
yeah. It's like doom, you know, but little hope, you know.
Okay.
So we're in this entrapment whereby the farmer is the symbol of the masses who cannot control anything, and they're under the kind of spell
Right.
whereby they are in search of a way out, but still finding. And then he's standing on 2 tons of husk, which is a symbol of rice, and rice is the problems that we had with the governments that have been, you know, seen as the use and the selling of rice and the suffering of the Thai population. But in this session, thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
we'll meet another time. Thank you.